Welcome to the Adventure Archive. I am Evil Andy XO, and I will be your dungeon master for this evening as we adventure through a mythic odyssey in the world of Theros. You're joining us for our murder mystery set in the Athens type city in Theros, known as Meletian. A warning tonight. A warning. Usually, this campaign is a little bit of a bright and maybe fluffier than our other couple campaigns, but there is a potential for some adult themes tonight, more so than any other night. So here is your warning. This is a role-playing stream, a Dungeons & Dragons stream for adults. You have been warned. Joining us for this adult fun tonight, as always, the man who made all of this happen. You know him as Melee After Dark. He is the Dark Overlord himself. Ryan, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. Who are you playing in this world of Theros?
I am playing Nostis, the Death Cleric of Erebos, former critic in Alekos.
Awesome.
That's a city I remember.
Not Miletus or Akros or...
Not Akros. Not Akros.
Not Akros. Okay. You may know him from his channel, Late to the Show Entertainment. Great late night gaming, great art and world building. Also the leader of Night Owl Squadron. L2, Late to the Show Entertainment. Christian, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for a party, even though Fanaze might be without a little bit today.
Tell us who Fanaze
I will
is.
Be playing. Yes, Fanaze Dinata is the Leonin barbarian who went to find his glory elsewhere than his homelands, and was met by a god. Leonin are not very religious, and a god told him that, destiny is waiting for him if he follows her. So he is following her.
Awesome. You might recognize her as the one who plays Harga in our Morkborg on Thursday nights. One of our favorite people in chat and my favorite neighbor. Janelle, how are you doing this evening?
Doing good. It's been a nice Monday. Not too hot.
It has been a very nice Monday. Very nice Monday. Tell us who you're playing tonight.
I am playing Fakira, the Zeta Warlock of the Genie.
Nice. You didn't even have to do a warm-up tonight. You just had it on.
Nope.
Awesome. A fellow Magic the Gathering enthusiast. This is his first time, well, not his first time, but this is his first campaign with the Adventure Archive. Cam, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm happy to be playing D&D.
Awesome. Tell us who you're playing in the world of Theros.
I am playing Drados of Meletian. He's a human wizard, a student of history and religion in a certain kind of way. And while Fanaze heard destiny calling him, Drados sees destiny coming for all of us. And he's trying to figure out what to do about it.
So are you a blue mage or a purple mage? It's purple, right?
Oh, he's a purple mage.
Purple mage, okay. But it's kind of like a little bluish, right?
I mean, there's some blue influence.
Okay, some blue influence. That's important in this world. You know him as the Smooth Talker from our Dark Kingdoms game on Wednesday night. The man who's always got a great drink and can swing a really nice forehand. Eric, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Been a good day.
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to playing some game. And I am playing Brazino the Fourth Jr., a Leonin Paladin.
Question
It was questionable. He's starting to feel like maybe he still is.
Zeno's getting his groove back.
He's thinking it's coming back. Yeah.
That's the name of the whole arc, how Brazino got his groove back.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, where we find ourselves, this group, the crew of Tomorrow's Twilight, plus some extras, saved the town of Alekos in the north from impending doom. But in doing so, they doomed a god to destruction, that god being the god of the sun. That god's destruction actually descended the world of Theros into peace. But behind the peace, trouble was brewing. Cults working against the gods, individuals fomenting in their disenfranchisement have been working behind the scenes, and in Meletis, this came to a boil several days ago when 3 of the 12, the ruling body of Meletis, were killed in one night. Parasophia, the de facto leader of this republic, called out to the heroes of Tomorrow's Twilight to come to Meletis in its hour of need, find out who committed these heinous murders, and find out what's going on. Unable to meet with Parasophia, who is so busy because of just trying to keep the city together, they've been working with Peter. Gosh, I'll have to remember how to pronounce his name.
Petros?
Petros, yes, there we go. Who is her second in command. They went to investigate an architect's house and found a labyrinth underneath it, and the architect murdered while looking for answers. At the center of that maze, they found more questions. A cult that was obviously somewhere below the city, but where? Who was involved, and why are they killing these members of the 12? Brazino recognized Karina Rapta, the former high priestess of the Temple of the Sun, following them. He chased her down, and she confessed that she was part of this cult and was told to follow them. Gave them a location that they could find this temple, and later on, after some other things, they came back to the bathhouse where Karina had told them to meet them, only to step into a trap. A bloody fight ensued, involving magma creatures who kept the baths warm, and afterwards the party left, now clean after some time in the bath, but a little worse for wear. A gala with the oh-so-lovely and mysterious Spyridula is scheduled for tonight, and you have invitations. Anybody who's anybody will be there, specifically the buddies. And you can find some answers there if you play your cards right. You are missing fur, you have burns on you, you have the bodies of the cultists who tried to slay you. You still need answers, and you have a ball to get ready for tonight. What are you guys going to do? Oh, thank you, Silent Baducky. Let's see here. We've got blesses for Ryan, for L2, for Janelle, for Cam. All right. That's great, because L2 is down to none.
And Eric, looks like one across the board.
All right. Thank you so much.
Up those numbers.
I'm sitting on some. I need to use them on everybody. Yes.
You could always bane your own creatures.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's. I guess I could.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? All right. So you have just left the Phenactic bathhouses. Oh, Ducky, thank you so much for the bane. Yes. And I'm definitely gonna have to use them up. Excellent. Balance. Indeed. Okay. So you find yourself outside of the Phenactic bathhouses. It has grown to be a little bit late afternoon, not quite into the evening. The city is recovering from its lunchtime and has gone back to its industrious ways. What are you... Where are you going? What are you doing?
Do we want to try and rest before the party tonight, or? Should we
I don't-
probably? She holds up the
I mean-
portable bowl.
How much time do we have?
The party starts rather late, and you can be fashionably late if you like, which means you could probably get in an 8-hour rest and still show up to the party proper. Do a couple things, maybe have some clothes made, return to your home, away from ship.
Yeah, I need to buy something to cover this head, and then rest would be good.
Okay.
Is Raphael anywhere within visual range, or has he just poofed?
He went back to your house. He said he was going to get you clothes. If you remember correctly.
Man, I hope he also gets food. I'm
Hello.
starving.
So I take it everybody's heading back to the Hall of Heroes.
Hmm.
I could use a rest.
All right.
Yeah.
Let us head there now then. You return to the Hall of Heroes. You find it guarded. Raphael has not returned yet. He seems to be taking his time gathering up the necessary people or things to garb you. But nevertheless, there is food and bread waiting for you. And, as always, the comfort and the chairs of the Hall of Heroes. After taking some time to have a nice meal, nothing spectacular, sorry, Fakira, just the standard fare, you are all resting in the Hall of Heroes. What would you like to do?
Rados has learned his lesson from last time. He's gonna ritual cast to detect magic. Make sure they're not trying the same dirty trick twice.
To spy on you twice? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You tell us about how you cast detect magic.
So while people are resting, sitting around, he goes over to the corner next to the it looks like the over on the side there, just and takes a seat and is going through his book, thinking about what has transpired and the forces that have these forces greater than us but also part of us have been trying to influence our lives.
Excellent. You begin to peer around the room. You do not see the essence of divination magic within. It appears that no one has been tampering because perhaps maybe they learned their lesson from being caught by you the first time. Or maybe they're better at hiding their magics now. You'll have to find that out. So last time you had collected the bodies of Karina Rapta and several cultists. You have them with you now. Before you take a rest, did you want to use some spells and talk to some dead bodies?
I can't today. I must prepare it for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
I'd like to maybe go outside of the just outside of the walled areas of the villa, just on the other side of the wall, maybe somewhere like here, to somewhere with a bit of privacy.
You can move yourself. I think you have control.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if like the guards were gonna be weird about it or whatever.
No.
But yeah, I'll go. Okay, that we're gonna be in and out. It's fine. Okay, so I go outside and I look around. I look at the sky, kind of feeling silly, and I kneel down and I place all the trinkets that I collected that fell off my mane around me. Just kind of blindly, it's all guesswork for him, right? And he looks up, puts his palms up to the sky, and he goes, Clothis, darkness surrounds us, and where we go next, it may be important for me to be at my best and most, and he bites his bottom lip, dignified.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything you can do?
Give me a religion check.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna bless it.
Okay.
I have a -1.
Bless me, Father.
Oh boy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with a bless. This isn't looking good though.
No.
14, but I don't know. I don't think so.
So Fanaze, as you look to the sky and around you for something, you look down into your open hands with your trinkets and all that, and for a moment you see a strand of hair that lays across your open palms, and you blink your eyes for a second, and it's gone. The hair that you wished for may not be growing back on your mane, but the strands of destiny still run across you. And maybe that's the hair that counts. You'll have to find out.
I purse my lips, but I nod and I gather my things and I go back inside.
All right. Anyone else doing anything?
I accidentally deleted my Fakira token.
Well, Fakiro
Control
winks out of
Z.
existence.
She was poof.
Okay, let me go get one.
If
for
you haven't done anything, just say Control Z and it should come back.
No.
Give me just a second. I'll get it for you. And put up.
A gust of wind appears, and Fakira goes poof.
A poof. Ooh.
Well, she did.
And she's
Token.
She has
tiny.
shrunk.
Yeah.
Shrunk.
says, "Don't eat the cake." It's labeled "One makes you smaller."
Honey, we shrunk the Seda.
Yeah.
So, are you guys going to take a long rest?
Yeah.
Well, at some point before, or like, as we get back, and maybe if I see Brazino, kind of slightly separated, his reaction to what Eric called Bloodbath and Beyond, was Nostis was not sure of it. I think he felt that Brazino would have been happier, because that's how he would have felt. But at some point, if they're slightly separated, he wants to kind of go over to Brazino and not like necessarily address him full on, but just kind of be near him. And he's gonna say, I don't know if this brings you any comfort, but just know the heretics of your god are now in the grasp of mine. And then just walk over.
As you're walking away, the heretics got what they deserved. It was the keeper of the best that I was a little shocked by.
And I stop to listen.
I'll turn the other way and walk
Yeah.
the other way.
I was gonna say stop to listen to what he says, but then just keep going. I'm just like,
Um,
I'm gonna post up on. Last time we slept in that big room, the big chairs and stuff, and that's where I'm going.
Ryan, I don't know if you have put this together, but Nostis would have assuredly put this together because you tend to know your rivals. Karina Rapta was a high priestess of Heliod before Heliod disappeared or was destroyed. And you participated in sending her to the underworld. Something that Erebos would be incredibly pleased over. Going out of your way to murder members of the other faith that your church is in direct opposition of isn't something that like all the gods are like, go do it all the time. You remember during the times when of trouble, when Alekos was a thing, that was actually primarily what was plaguing the world. But it doesn't mean that something like that would go unrewarded if you were to seek guidance or some kind of token from your god through ceremony specifically.
Oh yeah, I absolutely would. I mean, Heliod may be dead, but I can still send his servants to the grave.
Absolutely.
So yeah, once we get all settled in here, I would definitely, pray to Erebos, knowing that those worshippers are now, in his realm.
Okay. Well, is anyone going to do anything else before resting?
Akira's just gonna chat with Dibble. Assuming he can hear her.
Sure. What are you going to say to Dipple?
Hey Dibs, you gonna come to the party tonight? It's supposed to be a big old soiree, but they're gonna have really good hors d'oeuvres. I'll try to snag a few for you. Hopefully.
You don't get a response necessarily, but you get a small buzz from the ring, like a recognition.
Yeah.
Sometimes Dibble's a little busy with some things, and he has been a little busy with some things lately. Because normally he pays a little bit more attention. It seems like he might be working on something. He does this from time to time.
He's a very important person. Yeah. Excellent.
Brazino, anything that...
Oh, what time of day is it?
It's a little bit... It's like mid-afternoon.
And what's the weather like?
It's kind of nice. It's springtimey, almost summer.
Brazino is going to go outside for just a moment and just kind of look up and just stare at the sun for a minute.
Nice.
Not very bright.
Yeah.
And then kind of, obviously eyes get hurt. Then he's going to go inside and lay down.
The sun is still there. It still is providing warmth and life.
I know, but he's kind of looking at it like a little bit more like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody settles in for a rest. Nostis, I need you to give me a religion check with advantage.
What should I bless it to? I feel like the last one... Yeah, this is important. I'm going to bless it. And then a religion check with advantage. Alphabetical order. Here we go.
15.
Plus 3, so 18.
18. Goodness. Because I was thinking that... That's just... I wanted you to do better. I wanted you to do way better. But I can't deny an 18. So tell us about your ritual that you are performing.
Oh gosh, what? So Erebos is not only the god of death, but kind of the god of wealth as well. Oftentimes because the dead, that is what the dead leave behind, and that is what the dead sometimes try to take with them in order to kind of adjust their fate. I would. I mean, this kind of feels weird praying to money, but that's kind of what happens. I hold my holy symbol that is incredibly ornate and costly, and then I just reach out to Erebos, and I think about Karina Rapta, and just kind of go over it into my head, kind of towards Erebos, just asking, not even asking, just like saying that, you know, this was for Erebos, and just running through that and our various, you know, let's say hymns or something in my head as well.
So as you finish one of your hymns, you hear a clink, and it sounds like it came from your money purse.
All right. So I finish up my whole thing. I'm not gonna just be like, oh yay. And then once I'm finished, I'll reach for my money purse and see what happened.
You pull a chunk of clay from the money purse, and you can feel it buzzing with a little bit of energy. It is enough energy to cast a spell.
Okay. Is it so I basically have like a clay ball of storing?
Essentially, yes. It will expend itself on your use of it.
Alright. Can I cast any spell that I have?
Yes.
Or do I need to put one in it? Awesome.
So even
Thank you,
better than a
Erebos.
spell of storing. But,
Yeah.
you know. And with that, you all settle in for a rest. About halfway through the rest, Raphael shows up with silks and craftsmen, and he interrupts each one of you from your sleep just for like half an hour to take measurements and make something for you. I want each one of you to roll me a d6.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Raphael? Is that who you're talking to?
Yes. Yeah.
We're all doing so well, you guys.
So we're doing a d3 here. So divide it in half and round up.
We can just roll D3s.
Oh, you could just roll d3s. That's fine too. So let's see here.
2 to 1.
So Fakira, you're gonna get a +1 to your charisma modifiers for the night. Fanaze, you're gonna get a +2. Drados +2. Brazino +2, and Nostis +1. As you are dressed in finery at the expense of the city's coffers. The clothes is kind of how you decided it to be. The clothers and artisans showed up with raw materials to basically make whatever color. Maybe it's not exactly as you wanted, but it's very nice. The artisans of Miletus are quite skilled, and they use all of their skills to dress you finely. Tell us about your outfits briefly, and how you're going to look for the evening. Fakira, why don't you start us off?
Fakira's dress is particularly flowy. She decides to go with a long sleeve so she can hide her Wand of the War Mage up the sleeve. She actually uses a couple ribbons on her forearm just to have it at the ready if she needs it. But the rest of her stuff, besides, she keeps her ring, but she leaves most of her, more boring outfits back at the thing.
Nice.
She has her hair pin curled all over, and she adds a few extra ribbons around her horns so that everyone is just totally enamored with her outfit.
Nice. Okay. How does the well-dressed Nostis look this evening after having artisans and material at his beck and call?
Well, when they first arrive, I ask if I could just take the materials at cost and have the coin.
Raphael's like, no. We are not to. If you need money, I can request some from the 12, but I cannot just give you money. This is not an exchange based off of currency. This is a promise from the 12 that they're being paid with.
All right, boy. You talk there. I'm not with it.
Mumble.
So he basically takes the opportunity to just make himself a second outfit of basically what he has on, because Eremos is already Nostis is already incredibly well dressed in incredibly expensive clothes. So when you see him, maybe there's like slight difference, a more Meletian like direction to the cut slightly, but he's still just in incredibly fancy black robes with very nice black gloves and black boots. Not much different. Again, maybe just a little bit more of a Meletian cut to the outfit.
Awesome. Okay. Cam, tell us about what Drados gets himself dressed with for the evening.
Yeah, so, and I forgot to mention, so before we went to bed, didn't get a chance to speak up. Drados, each night, he waits for everyone else to go to bed, and he's been talking to Voithos, and he's been keeping Nestoros's legacy alive by sort of treating Voithos like a living journal.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Sort of retelling the stories of the day.
Voithos loves it. Like, totally is like, you know he's like mechanical, but because he has a purpose, it is, if a machine could love something, it is absolutely loving what you're continuing to do. And great for giving me a plot hook that I can use to hand to my enemies later. Your enemies.
Yeah, I sort of figured. Yeah. I can find all of our secrets. That's all right.
Yes.
So Drados is where, so he gets a, so he's got like it's like a dark gray, like a little darker than charcoal tunic, a little bit longer, like almost knee length tunic, and then over the top is this just very, very rich purple cloak. It's pinned on one shoulder and drapes across his body. So he's got one arm under it and one arm over outside of it, and it's just nice gold thread inlay in the same sort of pattern that you've seen on around him.
Excellent. All right, our Leonin brothers. Let's start with Fanaze.
It's clear that the notes that he gave the tailor were quite verbose, considering the reputation, and so they kind of went all out with the victorious gladiator theme. They get him that everything that his cloth is like this scarlet red, almost blood red, but a little bit brighter silk. That is gold lined and threaded with like embroidered laurels of gold along the edges, and it goes down one shoulder, so most of his chest is bare, and then it goes into a patergus, which is basically the Roman skirts that Roman soldiers wore, and with the leather tassels coming off the ends and lined with brass at the tips. And then he kind of looks over at some of the extra fabric and nods at them and points at his head, and they understand, and they wrap some of the same stuff kind of in this very nicely wound turban about his large head, and it all matches nicely, and he puts his trinkets in the spaces of the turban.
Nice.
So
excellent.
I mean, he's feeling a little bit better about himself now.
Yes, looking extra fine, the closest thing to a mane he can get. All right, Eric. Brazino.
Yeah.
What does Brazino go with?
So Rosino asked them, like, is it not okay for me to wear armor? And they probably say, yeah, that's probably not.
No.
So he says, "Ugh, but make me look like the sun. I don't know dress. You make me look like the sun. And so they just kind of do like a lot of golds, maybe some oranges and reds, finely tailored around him. But he has no idea kind of what he's wanting or needing or what's okay and what's not. It's not really his scene, so he's kind of just trusting the tailors. But
They make you shiny. Like, they kind of try to make you look like what Heliod kind of looked like, too. So, you almost look like you're trying to be Heliod, which is cool. It works for you.
loves it. Love
shiny,
it.
shiny.
Yes.
And with
I'm not
that,
a fan.
yeah, with that, you all get your rest in, and evening descends on the Hall of Heroes. You're dressed, you're bathed, you are unarmored? No, Nostus is armored. Everybody else is unarmored. What weapons are you going to bring with you? Because it is also not fantastic to show up with an armory. Just your fists. Bring in the
I have a
gun
dagger.
show.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
a
definitely
dagger
keeping
and
my
my wand.
I'm
Drados
definitely
is
keeping my
his
shield
book.
with me because it keeps it. I keep it strapped to my back under my robes anyway.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably get away with that. No problem.
Yeah, Drados is keeping his spell focus underneath the cloak.
Excellent. All right, the two fighters, Brazino and Fanaze. What are you going to bring with you?
So
I'm going to
asking,
Okay.
like, not okay to bring club or sword? Like, and it's a great sword and a big club.
Yeah, they're like, that would be very... A dagger for protection, just in case. But no swords. Everyone will think that you're there to commit some very nasty deed.
Dagger to clean claws, not protection.
Meh.
Go get me. I don't have a dagger, so go get me dagger then.
I hand you one of mine.
I also don't have a dagger.
I only have 2.
Well then, yes, boy, go get me a dagger.
Considering
Fine,
the-
I will be right back with daggers for all of you.
Would I be
Anyone?
able?
You get a dagger.
Would I be able
You
to
get a dagger.
conceal? Would I be able to conceal a hand axe underneath the skirt? Like
Just
Tuck it into the
underneath
turban.
Don't you already?
Probably. Whoa. Probably not a hand axe underneath the skirt.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. So okay. All right. So then, yeah, I guess it'll be a dagger for me, and that's everything else I have is big and potentially two-handed. So a sling. Maybe I'll wrap some of that in my turban. It's like the little thong of the sling and a few, and then some of the ammunition as much as I can in there.
Okay.
I will have my shield on my back, but I will use Mask of Many Faces to make myself look exactly as I was minus the shield.
Okay. Exactly like you were minus the shield. Okay. I wonder,
I
if you,
wasn't
So
could,
I
for you. There's
same
a map.
outfit minus shield.
I wonder if you could just take the weapons that everybody has, but let's not go there.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll try.
So you all set out with...
Nobody'd be able to get very close to you. You'd have like swords sticking out.
Mind you, I'm a 5'3" satyr, and
Right?
a great axe is a great club is how long?
Yeah.
Probably
Just
a
dragging.
couple feet
5'3".
taller than you. Yeah. Okay, so you all make your way
Sure.
out across the city. Let's move back, and I will show you where this party is taking place. Right over here. The Palace of the Family Parmexia. no one knows exactly where Spyradula lives. But she throws parties at lovely locations. This is not her palace. It belongs to a different family who is hosting the party for the evening. And as you approach, you see that it has been set up with all of the accoutrements of a shindig. There are extra guards sitting around the place, people even drunk out front. Yeah, let's see if I actually remembered the music that I was supposed to put to this. It's been a while since I put this together, so here we go. And as you enter the party, you are greeted by a fun sight. Let me take you where we are going. So you're greeted by exactly what you imagine for a Greek scene. People are sitting around playing music, half naked or completely naked. There are entertainers balancing on things, art here or there, hors d'oeuvres being served around, people laughing, politicians, faces you recognize, faces you don't, all together in some kind of merriment, and quite a bit of drinking. You are ushered through one of the main palatial buildings into a courtyard. And as you look around the courtyard, you see there are many people here. One person that you are looking for, you are confused by their absence. You don't see anyone who meets the description of Spyradula. And as you turn to ask your guide to the city where she is, he turns to you and says, "Oh, Spyradula doesn't attend her own events. That would be absolutely appalling. If you really wanted to meet her, I think you're going to have to get invited to the after party." And thus begins the game of the party, getting invited to the after party. How this is going to work. There are important people scattered around this courtyard, doing all sorts of things. You will have to talk to them and convince them that you're cool. It will be a typical social encounter where you will have to roll eventually on a charisma check, and depending on how they are to you, if you see this this kind of table here, let me move it slightly. So most people will be indifferent unless you know them already. Then you'll be looking at a 14 plus roll to get 1 social point, 18 plus to get 2, or a natural 20 to get 3. If they're hostile to you for some reason, that doesn't necessarily mean they want to kill you. You will have a higher roll to get anything from them. And then, of course, being friendly, a 10 plus gets you 1, 15 plus gets you 2, 20 gets you 3. And so each one of you is going to schmooze at the party. And you can get information about these individuals. Maybe you already know them, but each one of you is going to have to do one of these social encounters and try to get coolness points. And you have to come to a total of 10 social points in order to get invited to the after party. How you're going to change whether or not they are indifferent, hostile, or friendly to you will depend on your role-playing interaction with them. So why don't we get some initiative going, and we can start here. Let me just, before anybody rolls initiative, let me just make sure that everybody is off. So go ahead, everybody roll initiative. Don't forget to click on your token. For the chat, or for people in the chat, let me show you the kind of thing here. So basically what we got is this little social bracket. And your guide, whose name is slipping my mind right now, is more than happy to give you a little bit of information about each one of these individuals so that you can, of course, pick who you think you would be most able to get something from, essentially. So let's start, and we can... get a rolling here. Drados, you are first up in this game of coolness at the party.
Okay. So you said Raphael, or is it Raphael?
Yes, it's Raphael who's with you.
Yeah. Drados doesn't like social encounters. He's not as antisocial as Nostis, but not as bad.
Charisma is my dump stat.
Raphael, any of these guests, do they have any of my kind of abilities?
Oh yes. I think that there are many of them that are scholars of the magical ways. Almost any of them that belong to the 12 would be at least proficient in enough to give some teachings at the Decatia. Let's see here. There's Phylakis, who is a member of the 12. There's Elania. She's also a member of the 12 and is a seer of some repute. You know Petros, of course. Gorgios, the Triton, who is a member of the 12. I don't know who these people are playing up there on the stage, but who knows? Oh, this man right here, he's most certainly not a wizard. You should probably stay away from him. Elsa and Phoebe, they are acolytes of Spyrodula, say her students in training in the ways of social guile. And then, oh, over there's your friend from the Temple of Afara. And you see down here at the bottom is Sinai, the Justicar of the Justice of Afara.
I think Drados is gonna go. I didn't actually. I was zoomed in too far. I didn't see her at the bottom. I definitely want to go talk to Sinai.
Okay. So go ahead. You can move yourself down there. The grids are not perfect, so just put yourself close.
Token's so imposing and large.
Yes, it is. Let's move our token down here. She is actually friendly to you, but as you approach her, I want you to give me a perception check as you hear something unusual or something that catches your ear.
Sorry, moving stuff around.
13. You hear the sounds of pleasure, lust being given and taken, but you cannot discern the location that it's coming from. It's somewhere over here, but you cannot discern the location. It's just somewhere nearby. And Sinai turns towards you and greets you with a smile. Oh, hero, you look so splendid. Are you enjoying this frivolous party?
I appreciate the compliment, my new friend, and it is merely a requirement of what we are trying to do here.
Well, I just want to express to you the only reason that I am here, the Justice of Afara, is to keep my eyes on these politicians. I know that Afara has chosen them justly through elections and voting, but I can't help but have a sneaking suspicion that some of them come to power by nefarious means. How do you feel about the rightfulness of ruling by elections?
Democracy is perhaps an imperfect system, but it is the best one we've found so far, at least to my eye.
I agree, it is better than tyranny, but requires a steady hand to ensure it does not grow into a vile plant that must be plucked. I like you. It seems that your exchange with her has not done enough to change her disposition towards indifference. She still seems to feel friendly to you and the party. Unless you're looking to attempt to change her to a lower setting, you could go ahead and make your roll right now if you wanted to.
I think I'll go ahead and do that.
Don't forget to add your bonus to your which was 2. You get a +2 to your charisma.
Is this a blessable charisma check?
Yes, it is. It is also a baneable charisma check, and I'm going to bane it.
It's only fair.
So, okay.
So I'm just gonna roll, instead of trying to edit things, I'm just gonna roll charisma, and we'll just add 2 to it if
Okay.
that works.
Ooh. Okay. So
That's
let's...
a 21 before the bane.
21 before the bane. Let's see if I can knock it down to just Okay, so I knock it down to 2. You guys are up to 2 points. I'm gonna go write that somewhere in here. I should have prepared a thing in here. You keep continuing your conversation with Sinai about democracy, and you feel like things are going fairly good. You end up with 2 social points so far. You need 10. Wow. Why is that? Writing in Roll20 is very difficult. This is not fun. Okay. Up next, we have Fakira. You look around the party, Fakira, and you have quite a few people to talk to. You recognize a couple of them. Calamira, over here, is the poet that was dejected by Nostis for not reading her poetry. Why she would be at the party, you don't know her that well. Maybe she has some pull in social circles. Yes.
Okay, she's gonna do 2 things. First, she's gonna find the past hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, yeah, yes. So they're all over the place. Like, you pass by some people and they're like, there's literally a person laying naked on like a slab of like stone with pillows, and they have just these little like pastries with little bits of meat on them, and it's all over their body. And as people come by and like take a piece and eat it, they someone comes back and like puts stuff back, so it's like almost they're clothed almost the entire time with treats, and as soon as they leave they are immediately replaced. You find that there is a trough filled with ice that has cooled seafood in it that you could just eat raw, with various fruits for you to drip on them as well, and drink every kind of drink that you want, and a new one that you have never seen before. A waiter with a bronze jug that is piping hot is pouring out mugs of something that smells sweet.
Yep. So she's gonna just have her little mage hand, palm up. She's gonna start filling her mage hand with food and treats, and like have fingers splayed so she can have a couple of drinks in there. And then she's gonna look around for the person least interested in being here.
She sees Gnosis.
Who is not in our party.
Yeah, it's either Gnosis or Brazino. It's like, who are you going to talk to?
Let's see here. Petros looks like he's enjoying talking to the people that he is with. So does Calamira. Andronicus, the athlete person, is like not so much talking to people, but more so being gawked at by like a group of people. Ah, thank you, Sursa. We are so glad to have you here. Let's get some Sursas in the chat. If you don't know who Sursa is, oh man, you haven't you haven't had a chance to step into one of his Death Trap dungeons yet, or be killed in one of his Choose Your Own Adventure books. If you have not, I recommend doing it. You can learn more in our Discord or by checking out his website. Very cool dude. All right. So to continue on, Elisa and Phoebe seem to be looking around at the audience. They're talking to themselves and kind of almost talking about the people around them. Elania is by herself, and she is staring up at the night sky of Nyx, looking at just the general things that are happening. It looks like Nylea is hunting a giant creature across the night sky, and she is watching it ever so intrigued. Gorgos is talking to a group of people, almost like he's proselytizing. As for a person who is the least interested in being there, it's probably Ilania.
She's gonna walk up to Ilania after L2 gets his bless.
Yes, thank you so much, Sursa. Yes, he needs it. He needs it. He is running low. So you're going up to Ilania.
Yeah.
All right. You approach...
What a story for tonight, huh?
Yes. She doesn't even, like, bring her eyes down to look at you. But do you not see the other stories happening in between them? Look. Just under Lylia's bow, you can see Mogus is transforming a man into a vicious creature.
Oh no.
But unless you looked at the stars this way, and as you cock your head the way she tells you to, you see it. It's almost as if it's like hidden within the swirling stars at Nylea's like calf, and then she points your eyes over to another another portion of the sky, and you see a depiction of Perforos, and he is showing a man how to take copper through the process to make bronze and how to pull the raw material from the ground. But you wouldn't be able to see it because it's so drowned out by the drama of Nylea hunting the giant creature that unless you were looking for it, you wouldn't have been able to see it.
Whoa.
And finally, she looks down at you. Oh, a satyr.
Hi.
I'm sorry that me looking upon you makes me sad. I lost a friend recently who was a satyr, Theophania. Very good companion of mine.
One of my friends was very close to her. They were similarly affected.
Ah.
I'm sorry for you.
Do you know anything of prophecy, young one?
That it exists? Yeah.
What do you...
I haven't had many opportunities, though.
Looking into the future can often doom one to make the very mistakes that lead you into tragedy, making it self-fulfilling.
Oh.
But even being able to see the future does not keep one from sadness. What would you choose? Would you choose to see the future that you might prevent it from happening? Would you take that curse upon yourself, little one?
Yeah.
You would.
You have to make sure you can do as much as you can to try and help, right? Everyone should have the opportunity to be happy. And if I can help with that, it's worth it. Yeah.
She smiles at you, but as she smiles, you see a tear drop down one of her cheeks. And I think that is just what she needed to move into friendly territory. Yay. You can roll now, unless you wanted to get some more information out of her, because she does seem like she was friends with one of your persons of interest. Theophania was one of the murdered members of the 12. If you wanted to perhaps get some information or ask some questions, she might have some of that information for you.
I would attempt to do it, but the player doesn't know how.
But the player doesn't know how? Okay.
No, like I don't know what strings to pull.
Okay. I mean, you could just ask questions, you know, that's not, you know.
You know, we're trying to figure it out so that people can be happy again. Do you have any ideas about what maybe happened?
No. I am a seer, if you did not know that already, and I appear to be blind. All of these prophecies blending together, Theophania was so good at keeping them all straight and linking them together in a way that made sense, and now that she's gone, I'm afraid I may be in the dark again. Shortly before this all happened, she was asking me about prophecies or visions of unicorns, and I have had none.
Fakira has a very visible remembering Brazino's dream.
She looks at you just like, yes.
You didn't have any?
No, not a one.
If you did, would that help?
I'm not sure. Without Theophania, I'm not sure I would be able to link them together. I don't know what she was looking for?
Hold on 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. And I hand her like my big mug of drink that I was holding and probably sipping from,
It's hot cocoa, by the way. Yeah.
which is perfect. And she runs off to go get Brazino.
Okay. Why don't you make a roll before you do that?
Okay.
Because Brazino's probably off doing his own thing at this very same moment.
It's persuasion or just flat charisma?
It can be persuasion because you're a bard. You've spent the time to do that. Yes. I'm going to bang
bless
it.
All right. All right. Cool. And then a D4. Yeah. Okay, 22 before your bane.
22 before my bane. So this could knock it down to a lower count.
Won't do because I
Hi,
have.
buddy. I'm not sure you can show
Go.
this on the cam. Hello.
Hi, man.
And then somebody's got a baby at a party. Who would bring a baby to a party like this? Can you believe that? Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
The fan is on. Yep. Say hi, everybody. Say hi.
Hi, buddy.
Yep. The baby is the time for a break. Thank you very much. Go get yourself a libation. Get yourself in the partying mood. And we will see you back here on the Adventure Archive in just a few moments. Bye-bye. Hi, welcome Raiders, welcome the Gilded Troll. Thank you so much. We are in the middle of a break from our Greek party. We're so happy that you're here with us. Jables, thanks for the resub. So glad you're here. Good to see you. We will be taking just a small little break as we kind of transition into the second half of the evening. So thank you for joining us. We will be back in a few minutes. hype train. My goodness, you guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh boy. Just want to thank everyone for coming over. Raiders, thank you so much for the subs. Who was it that tossed all of those in there? Cam, nice, very nice. Dark Apocalypse 98, Gilded Steph, hey, Archive Bot, yeah, there we go. Thanks for those gift subs. Jables, you're amazing. Wow, thank you so much. Fire blesses in the chat. You are all so wonderful. Thank you again. Just as we step away for a second, I hope Trolls for Hire was going great. Love seeing you guys back on Mondays again. Horrible Tomato, thank you for the bits. Cecila, thank you for the bits. Let's see here. Need some shout outs. Jables is a wonderful human being and just an absolute joy to have around. Please check out his streams. You can see him playing RPGs on the Gilded Troll, or doing cosplays or Let's Plays on his channel. Wonderful person. Horrible Tomato, dope person as well. Thank you so much for the follow.
Jay Holiday.
No, you. Yeah. Gosh, it feels like I haven't been around enough. Jables, I miss you. Thank you for being here tonight. The Gilded Troll, they're wonderful, great. Ian is a fantastic DM and a little bit of an inspiration. I feel like I get better every time I watch him. Gilded Steph, totally fun to play. To watch play. Makes watching D&D a lot of fun. Everybody over there. Let's see here. Papa Jedi, Mother of Jedi, great human beings too. Thank you for the resub. Whew. Jay Miller, you know what's up. 9 months. My goodness. The time flies. Thank you so much. Well, I think we are... I hope you all have your party clothes on and a drink, because we are in the middle of a Greek gala in the middle of the night in the town of Meletian in Theros, looking for a little bit of information on who done it. Mr. Bayless, thanks. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Bayless does great art on his channel. Definitely check him out. So, I hope you have a drink and your party dress on, because we are schmoozing at a party trying to be cool enough to get invited to the after party, where the person that the party really does want to talk to. Yes, I know, I am the least evil person ever. We don't know. It's still out for debate. Basically what the party is doing is they are schmoozing people at the party, trying to convince them that they are worthy of being invited to the after party, so they can talk with Spyradula, a master of social exchanges within the city of Miletus. Fakira has just sweet-talked the seer Elania, a member of the 12, into being friends with her. She rolled an 18 plus 4 to get a total of 22, right? Which
Plus
means
3, right, from her
yes, plus
from her dress.
3 from the dress. Okay, so 25. I baned it for 2, which comes down to 23. Oh, Mother Jedi, thank you so much for the resub. We're so glad that you're here with us. Thank you so much for coming in. Mother of Jedi, fantastic streamer. Love watching crafts and the cooking streams. Check her out if you're not already following. And if you are already following, check her out anyways, because it's a nice thing to do. Okay, so you guys get a total of 3 social points to bring you up to 5. You are halfway through to getting to the 10 you need to be invited to the after party. Up next, we've got Nostis, whose dump stat is Charisma. Choo choo, thank you
Like real life.
so much for jumping on the hype train, everybody. You are a blessing to us. Even though things are opening up again and we're kind of getting back a little bit to like our lives, you have all been like so important to us. So thank you for sticking around and going on these journeys in the world of tabletop with us. We are so blessed to have you here. By like D&D blessed, is what I mean. Okay, so Nostis. Nostis with the mostest. What's going on?
So I just don't like it here. But and I feel like there's not really anyone I know or really
there's
care
Calavera.
to know, except her. Except her. I know her. I'm at least aware. I vaguely remember her name. And this is a bar that I was just like, oh, sure, I didn't read your stuff, correct?
Right, yeah. You didn't read
Kid,
any of her poetry.
Did I ever even glance at it? Do I remember even just like a line from it?
How about you give me an intelligence check, and if you roll like really high, like just like luck, it's like a 17 up. You remember
Okay.
something from it. Something.
So
from
do
it.
I actually have 2 blesses right now, or do I just have 1 and you didn't take 1 off from earlier?
I don't remember. Oh, and I got a Bane. I got a Bane from Jables.
So let's just say I have 2.
Sure. Let's.
So I'll bless this one.
And I'm going to Bane it because I want you to fail at this. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good roll, though.
Yeah,
Let's see
that's
here.
a 2. So I always get automatic advantage on all of whatever check you asked me for. So I'm
Wait,
just gonna
what?
roll it.
Why?
Just because?
Just because.
No. So what did you want? History?
You could just roll an intelligence check. So
Not history.
Not-
Since I am trying to remember my
it's not.
past.
It's not really like historical, though.
She didn't
It's-
actually read it.
Yeah.
No, but a history check is an intelligence to remember things in the past and stuff. This is my past.
Okay, so I'm baning this for 2. Let's see here. Gosh. Because you're wanting it to be a wisdom roll. Why not? Why not?
No. History is intelligence.
Oh, it's intelligence? It's just something
Yeah.
that you've put in points into. Okay. You could do history.
Ooh.
Okay. Come up with something really like boring and derivative. It doesn't matter. Whatever bit of boring poetry you say, it will be something that she wrote.
Cool. Do I really need to say something about the Nixian sky and some contrived bullshit that this terrible bard came up with? That's Gnosis.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
Gnosis.
You need to move yourself over to this lady that you are talking to.
Have to convince her that you actually mean it when you say it.
Yes, you do.
Jables
Oh,
also gave a bless to L2 a little while ago, so I don't
I
think
must.
we
I
missed
may
that.
have missed it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
But there was
I
a
wrote that
Bane
down.
And
for
is
the
that
boy Andy. Yeah.
another one for Ryan? Okay.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Ryan needs them.
That last train coming.
Okay. I'm gonna move you over here next to Calamira.
Oh, I don't know why I saw movement and then looked at my screen and was like, I'm not that big buff dude. Why did you move me there? But it's a little higher. Oh gosh, so the problem with Gnosis is he's too good at what he does to come up with contrived bullshit. So he struggles as he walks over to her.
And she sees you coming and gives you this glare like, oh no, what are you doing here? You are in the hostile territory with Calamira. Thank you for the Bane. Thank you, Bayless. Yes, yes.
So I kind of stroll over to her, and like on the way I just like pluck a glass of something off of like a tray going by. Just kind of strolling, but in my mind I'm like, it's like whirring and like smoke is coming out of my ears trying to think of what this woman said.
Thank you, Mr. Bayless. Thank you so much.
And I just kind of, I don't really address her. I just kind of do the same thing I did with Brazino, where I just like stand in her, like right at that line of personal space that like I get 3 feet, you get 3 feet. So we're like right there. So she can hear me and knows that clearly I'm next to her. And I say something along the lines of, Nyx, that dark and mysterious sky, the stories we see, how they astound me.
Her eyes light up like in absolute surprise. You did read it. You did read it.
Of course I read it.
Then why would you tell me that you didn't read it? She kind of like gets flustered for a moment, turns around, collects herself. Okay. So tell me what you thought.
I merely told you I did not read it because all great artists must suffer for their craft.
My world has been so much suffering lately. This is a joy to hear that you, of all people, such a great critic, actually took the time to read. I've been just rejected everywhere. It's been so hard. But thank you. Thank you. I feel like maybe things are starting to turn around for me. Do you have any advice? Any pointers that I could take? You've read so much brilliant work and torn it to absolute shreds, so anything constructive.
I truly believe you must continue writing from the heart.
Do you...
Roll a wisdom save.
Blood
deception
coming
check.
I'm gonna give
I
a set like a
I love
a
that.
check to like let's see here.
Oh, can't my charisma roll just be whether she like
Yeah,
is down
absolutely.
with my
But you
bullshit?
see you could be going in a positive direction, and if she senses your not being
Disingenuousness?
genuine, disingenuous,
Yeah.
then she might actually just stay right where she's at.
Hey. At one. Yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, if it
I bane it.
you would bane it, sure. It's gonna stay right there. It's not gonna go into like the friendly territory. She's still miffed about you publicly basically saying that you didn't read her stuff, but like now it's kind of pulled you into this territory. So now instead of being in hostile, you're in different territory. So you can continue to discuss things with her. She might have information that you want. She does know things. She gets around. She's a socialite. Or you could just make the roll.
So, will you be reading any of your poetry at the after party tonight?
Oh, Spyrodula is... She doesn't talk to me for my work. She talks to me because I get around, if you know what I mean. Not like that. Just, I know people. And I talk to people. I did some of my poetry readings for some of the 12 as well. And Minron liked for me to come and read my poetry to him in the nude. So I knew some things about what was going around on his estate. I don't think she actually likes my poetry, because she never asks for me to read them.
Well, that is her loss.
Yes. You know, Minron wasn't as... He wasn't as much of a dog as people suggest that he was. A lot of the people that he met weren't his lovers. He regularly met with Theophania. If you have maybe heard the rumors, especially since they both died on the same night, there were some suggestions that it was a lover's quarrel gone wrong, and that she was killed by one of his other jealous lovers, but she was often there at his estate. But they weren't lovers, no. They were simply discussing things, as far as I could tell. I was always in the bedroom, so I couldn't overhear exactly what they were saying. It's just I knew he couldn't have been loving her. If you understand my meaning.
I do indeed.
Hey! Ginger! Welcome in, Ginger Whistles. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us on this mythic odyssey of Theros. We are in the middle of a Greek party, exchanging information, trying to get coolness points, and get invited to the after party. Phoenix Firestar. Oh my gosh.
Look what came in the mail today.
Ooh.
Hey.
Oh, that is nice.
That is real nice.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Ginger Braid. Kaylin. Ginger Souls. If you aren't following Ginger Souls, go give him a follow. Great gaming. Really fun. I love the beard ornaments, and just a cool dude. Thanks so much for coming in. Phoenix Firestar. Also great too. Welcome in. So, you get that little bit of information and perhaps a little more about Calamira. Would you like to make your roll now? Thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Also,
Kaylin.
Super Kaylin does some wonderful arts, and I don't want to say like crafts, but it's like resin art and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I've
Great
totally
experiment as well,
seen
yeah.
quite a bit of it. Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Awesome resin crafts. Resin dice boxes. We're actually going to be able to roll dice here soon in front of each other, so we're going to need those.
So, but she said she didn't overhear anything that Midron and Theophania were talking about at all.
Just that
Not even a
they
snippet.
would meet with some regularity and that they weren't lovers.
Mm-hmm. Interesting tidbit. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and do my charisma roll, and of course I need to bless it.
And I'm going to bane it. Okay. So, down.
And then I get advantage.
Why do you keep saying that?
Maybe you'll say okay once, and then I'll be good.
Okay.
So I do get a plus. I do get a +1. What was your Bane roll? Are we even?
I have
or do
not
I have
rolled
one?
it
Yes,
yet.
no.
So I'm going to be taking away 1 from it. Okay.
So I get a total. I get a total of a +2. And I'll roll my +0 charisma. What did I not roll? Oh, so it's the first one.
Okay.
Yay.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
that seems about right.
She fills your ear up with useless information, and you cannot help hide your just utter contempt for this woman after a while. After buttering her up with the stuff about reading her work and what she needs to do, she kind of starts to get that you're not really talking to her for her. And after a while,
I got real bad RBF.
Oh,
yeah.
After a little while, she returns to her group that she was entertaining. The people who seem to have waited this entire time as she's had a conversation with you for her to return to talk to them again. And, yes, you don't get any social points out of it and feel like, frankly, exhausted from this really terrible social interaction.
Yep.
Next up,
Can I find like the least populated corner and then just go there?
sure, you can determine that yourself.
All right.
Go stand in the middle of the planter.
Fonaze Dinata's turn.
So, of course, he's 7'5", so he's looking over everyone, and he sees one of the largest people there just across from him. What's this Andronikos look like?
He is a specimen of athleticism. He's about a foot shorter than you, but you actually know exactly who he is when you see him. He is the winner of the Aroan Games the year before you that you weren't at. He was also not at this year's that you won. And many people were upset that they did not get to see the two of you throw down. And here he is at a party in the middle of the nightlife in Meletus.
All right. So I'm gonna see whether a server comes by that's been pouring wine, and as I walk out forward into into this area, I do notice the music being played. I'm like, I wonder, and I look over and I see it's Periagos, and so I look at the server, I point at her, and I go, hey, that here, and I just like do kind of a lean back and open my mouth and like smile at her, and she pours the wine into my mouth. I take a nice, I let it fill up my mouth. I take a nice, I come up from it, let it splash. I make a big deal out of it, and then I try to make sure maybe some people have noticed, and maybe I'm doing this somewhere around here, and then I start strutting over to Periagos. I wait for a moment. I nod my head to the music. I wait for him to finish a little bit, and then I just slap wrists with him. I go, "Hello, brother," and he's probably looking at me silly. And then I head on over to wine still dribbling down my chest to Andronikos there, and I go, "I missed you this year."
He looks up from what he's doing. Funaze di nada. Is that you? I don't recognize your mane.
It's a little late to the show.
You messed up, fool Naze, coming to my town, not paying respects to the original champion.
You were a little late to your own games this year,
I
so I
was-
think we can call it even.
I was busy fighting krakens in the South Sea. A big one came up and dragged me down to the bottom of the ocean. But you know, the cream of the crop always rises to the top.
Well, I was facing down a giant serpent that almost took down an entire city, and my companions were part of a great feat that was done. So, how about we give the people what they want? Because clearly, you said people were looking at him, right? He was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of a show of his own.
He's a little bit of show of
So
for sure.
I have my arms akimbo. I'm playing up with him.
He points at you.
How about
You may be the hot new thing for Naze, but you know, when we meet in righteous hand-to-hand combat, the gods will choose their champion, and it's gonna be me. And he wades out with you through the crowd to the center. He lets you walk ahead of him, of course, but he is fully happy to oblige.
okay?
Let me pare this guy down just a little bit, because he's not like bigger than you necessarily. He's actually a little shorter than you.
He's probably still just as muscular though.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude. It's ungreep.
Yeah, he'll do fine.
Yeah. And the music stops playing, people stop talking, and everyone turns their attention to the center ring. What are the rules? How are we gonna do this? He's not wearing any armor, he doesn't have any weapons.
I'm going to clench my, claw my hands, and the claws are going to come out. I won't use these either. And then I retract them, and I just pull off the one bit of silk that's going across my chest, just leaving me in the skirt and the turban. And I prep myself and go,
First one to pin the other wins. May Erois choose
Indeed.
his champion. All right, so why don't you give me just an initiative roll, but don't click your token, and we'll do just kind of a thing right here where
a back and forth sort of thing. Okay,
Yes,
so don't
exactly.
click the token, just initiative.
yeah,
Okay.
just initiative. Oh.
Oh, jeez. Rough.
He doesn't do much better. I think that the drink has gotten a little bit to the both of you. He steps in and gives a lunge towards your legs, like he's trying to get low on you. And he's going to roll a straight attack roll in an attempt to grapple you. So here is my attack roll.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be in rage for this too.
Oh, okay. Excellent. On
I'm
your
I'm
turn,
starting
essentially.
this, roaring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So he dives in to go for your legs and gets a total of 23, which I'm assuming is going to get you. Give me an opposed strength check as he attempts to roll you over onto your back.
A check or a save?
It's an opposed check.
Okay. Oh, opposed. Okay, right. All right.
And this is a blessable thing if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna bless it. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's gonna. I still said I was gonna bless it, so I'm blessing. I have to bless it. So yeah, that's gonna be an 8. Wow.
An 8. He
Bad news.
grabs you and tree tops you, and you start heading towards the ground. It is going to be your turn. He has not pinned you yet, but it is not looking great for Fulnaze.
Have I already hit the ground, or am I?
You're kind of going on the way.
All right. And is it? I'm trying to picture it. Am I going down head first, or
He's got your leg.
Like, how am I being?
He's got your one of your legs, and he is kicking your other leg out and driving you into the ground.
Okay. I want to bring my hands down to to support myself as I'm on the landing and push off, and with the leg that's free, like try to hook kick him in the face.
Okay. His AC is a whopping 11, so.
All right. So is it just unarmed strike?
Yes.
Okay. And blessing.
Oh.
And blessing. Anyway, so.
You're going to use up all your
so
blessings
24.
and not have any left. You're down to 0.
I'm down to 0.
All right.
I mean, if I call it, I have to use it.
Yep.
So.
You strike him in the face. Well, describe to me. You hit him, but for 4 damage.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I'm heading to the ground, both my paws boom brace, and all my muscles tense up on my shoulders, and I let the leg that's loose. I flip my hips around to face him, and I give him a good hook kick with the flat of my paw right against the side of his head.
He crinkles his nose as you smack him in the head, and one of his eyes kind of close with his whatever sitting sideways. You have another attack, don't you? Because you get 2 attacks a turn, don't you?
That's right. Yes, thank you. So here comes the other. Does he let go when that happens?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Then
I'll let you spend that attack to roll a strength check to get out of it. Try and get out of it.
Was he able to rage? Has that happened yet, or is he still?
Yeah, you said you wanted to rage, right?
That's a bonus action. So yeah, I'll do that. I'm raging. Especially if he's not letting go. So I rage, and then you know what? I'm going to bring my weight down onto the ground, almost sitting up, and pull the leg that he's grabbing towards me, and get ready to now I have my hands free because I'm sitting on the ground, pulling my leg back and going to grapple him as he's coming, if he comes forward on it.
All right.
Bring this tussle to the ground.
Bring this tussle to the ground. All right. Okay. So give me an attack roll.
Okay.
To even see if you can pull off this maneuver. Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
24.
Yeah. So, and now let's do opposing strength checks.
Okay.
You get advantage because you're raged.
Yeah. So that's sorry, I rolled twice. So it's a 22 for the strength check.
You wrench as hard as you can to pull out, and he's clamped on hard. This is a true. Already, you can tell this is probably one of the best wrestlers you've ever come up against, by a long shot. And he still has your leg headed with you going towards the ground, And this way, he's going to end up on top instead of you being on top. On his turn, he's going to press your leg in towards your chest and try to wrap a leg around your neck to do like a pretzel roll. Give me another opposed strength check because he's already grappling you.
Okay, so it's advantage. 18.
16. You manage to keep him from rolling you onto your back, but you are full on with one leg in his arms and trying to keep your neck from getting wrapped around in his legs. He's going to spend his entire turn trying to roll you down. It is your turn. And at this point, because you're on the ground, attacking like probably isn't going to help you.
Yeah. Right. So he still has one leg. He doesn't have any limbs on me yet, correct?
Limbs on you? What do you mean?
Is he is he like stepping on my chest, or is he like kneeling on me?
He's trying to get a leg around your neck to like give you a pretzel roll.
Okay.
Pretzel roll.
I'm gonna try one hand grabbing that leg that's trying to wrap, and the other one on his waist to try and flick him down to get me free and get him on the ground, to do kind of a switch around.
All right, you're
so
gonna
grip him
probably
onto the ground and put him flat on his back.
All right, let's do another roll off again.
Okay. 17.
Oh, you break his grasp on your leg, beating him by a whole whopping 10. You escape, and you can make an attack roll to grapple him again. That way you can head back for you being in a more advantageous position.
Okay, so attack roll now, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's a normal roll now.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tries to bat your hands away, but he can't keep you from grabbing him. Opposed strength check one more time.
All right, let's go. 18.
He is not prepared, and you get him where you're on top. You have not pinned him yet, and he is going to, on his turn, attempt to break away. Give me another opposed strength roll. Ooh.
13. Oh.
16. He pushes you back. It's your turn again, though. He's not escaped.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try and attack first.
Like you're gonna punch him while you're in the middle of a grapple?
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of a grapple. Yeah, I'm gonna try and he's got the advantage now. He's grappled me, so I'm gonna get out of it.
You're still on it. You're still on
I'm grappling him.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna bring my weight down, try to keep him pinned, and then if I do that, then I'll strike him.
All right. Go for opposed checks again. Gets a 12.
Yeah.
16.
Ooh, okay.
You push him down. You haven't pinned him yet.
Yeah.
But it's close.
I'm going to you know what? I'm gonna take my other I'm gonna take my second. You know what? I'm not pinned him yet. Yeah, I'm gonna press my weight further down on him, grab his like limbs to like splay them out. Really try to pin him down on this.
All right.
Just impress on it more.
Opposed roll one more time then.
Ooh, 14.
You inch him down, beating him twice in a row. You inch him down, and slowly, it's not like an overwhelming victory. It is a victory by inches. You press his shoulder blades into the stone, and everyone cheers around you as you are victorious, settling the score once and for all.
I let out a huge roar, and then I relax it before I go to face him again as he's down on the ground. I go, "Well fought." And I get up and I put a hand out to help him up.
He reaches out and takes your hand and stands up. Well,
And I raise both hands up.
he raises your hand with you like you won. Well, I long to see you with a weapon in your hand across from me in the Colosseum. Perhaps one day we'll prove our mettle with metal, Vanaze. For now, you are the champion. And
I look forward to that day.
he stops the closest waiter with wine and grabs cups and shoves one into your face, and you both drink. And because
Nice.
you have won in the eyes of the crowd, you get to make a roll on the friendly table, despite he isn't really, he's still probably hostile to you in some way, but at least the people watching think that you're fucking cool. So
Right. Okay, so this will be +2 because of the outfit. Oh, geez, a 5. I don't know what's going on. Bad roll on
man,
my end.
really quickly, people are like, they were drunk. I want a rematch. I don't think this was right. Rematch. There's some real tough audience going on. After all of that, it doesn't seem like this display is going to get you any closer to the after party.
Yeah.
You drink and talk with Andronikos, and the two of you are having a good time trading stories. He tells you about how he killed a Cyclops with one hand, and he strangled a Hydra with the fingers on his other hand, and just boasting and boasting and boasting. He's a funny dude. Brazino, all of this is going on at the party. You are over there, the last hope. Perhaps there's something that you could do to rescue this.
We'll see. So I walk in, everybody kind of goes off in their own directions, and I'm kind of like, And you said there's somebody with a pitcher of something hot coming out of it?
Yeah. So there is a waiter going around. Hold on. The fight has ended. Let's end the fight music. Roll for kissing. Ooh. Why not? He might be game. He probably is game. So you find a waiter with a metallic jar with steam coming out of it, and the contents that are poured out is like cocoa. So it's a chocolatey drink, not necessarily what we think of as like hot cocoa, but it's fairly close. It's got some other spices in it, but it's sweet and lovely, and it tastes great.
Is this something that I knew existed, or is this
This is a new thing that you've never experienced before.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit and ask the waiter, what is this that you have? Kind of smell it and take a sip.
It is the soaking of cocoa, sugar, vanilla, and other extracts together into hot milk.
This is amazing. Do other people know it is rich and creamy and so good? Does everybody know what this is?
You look around at everybody, and they're all
I'm
looking at you like, yes, we know, yes. It is lovely. And both
I'm gonna
Elisa
take the tray from the waiter. I'm gonna say, You go get more. I pass these out. Everybody needs to try this. And I'm going to take the tray, and I'm just going to start walking around to every group and passing out hot cocoa.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. You are greeted by
So
smiles.
this first guy over here, I'm like, you must have this. It is delicious and warm and make you feel really good inside.
The old man, Palakis, he takes it from you and gives you a cheers and says, Thank you very much. Just the thing I need to lift my spirits. And he takes a sip. And then he turns and he takes a sip of wine and then crinkles his nose.
Yep. So I said, consider your spirits lifted, and I move over. Well, they were fighting, so I'll go that way.
Ah, Petros. Petros greets you. He goes actually to hug you as you, like, get close to him.
Don't knock over Coco thing. You have this.
Oh.
He can't hug me because I'm holding a tray.
Ah, he realizes and then recoils back. Then thank you very much, Brazino. The fourth junior. It is a pleasure, and I am so glad to see you here this evening. You look as radiant as the sun, my friend.
That is exactly what I was after. Thank you for saying so.
Cheers. And he
Cheers.
drinks.
I say, wait, hold tray.
He
I'm gonna make him hold it so I can take a drink too.
holds the tray for a moment.
Yeah, then I'll take it back and I'll make my way over to another group.
All
Over
right.
there.
You approach a group that are being probably bored by a Triton who is telling them all how the sea keeps the land alive, and without the sea, they would all perish, and they're so lucky that Thassa doesn't just, take away the bounties of the sea from them.
So I come marching right into the middle. Everybody, you must have this.
Oh, they love the opportunity to break a little bit of the doldrum of listening to this Triton, and they all partake of the cocoa, and bless you. May the gods bless you. Afara smiles upon us with this treat. It is truly a blessing of Karametra.
Okay.
Eric, how did you get so red? Does
I don't know. I was
anybody else
looking
notice
at
that?
I was like,
Yeah, it's gone up and down. There's
Yeah.
a problem.
Open
oh, it's the
open
lighting.
that camera settings thing that I downloaded for you, and just turn down the color intensity.
Over here, I'm less red, and then over here, I don't know.
It's the sun. You are shining with the setting sun.
We downloaded a camera settings.
Yeah, I know. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well,
He's got hot chocolate to pass out.
He's got hot
Don't-
chocolate.
don't
Yeah.
sell my cocoa.
Priorities.
So I would assume it's probably gone, so I have to go hit up the waiter to get more.
Yeah, it's getting pretty much gone at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go find the waiter, get another tray, send him back, give him the empty, and oops. Sorry, clicked on something, and start moving to the next group. I'm just
Yes.
making the rounds, passing out cocoa.
So the only thing that gives these people the impression that you're not just a waiter is that you look amazing. You show up to the group and talk to them, and they greet you, but you start to get the feeling that maybe you're just doing the job of the waiters more visually. If you're looking to gain some popularity with the crowd, you might be better suited doing it a different way. The cocoa is fantastic, but it's not going to win you any social points necessarily when it was already being served around the party by faceless servants, just the way the elite want them to be.
Well, they are pompous asses.
Yes.
So who's that next to me?
That's Calamira. She was, she was
You
the
don't
one.
like me.
Probably not.
All right.
So the people that are generally left, that if you wanted to talk to, is
I'm gonna go back to the guy who said he needed his spirits lifted.
oh,
Name's sad.
That's Petros. If you came to Phylakis, right over here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Oh, returning. Yes, I am the second of the 12, if you don't seem to act like you know me, good Leonin. I am, Phylakis, the second. I am the second most elder of the 12, and dare I say, the second most powerful on the quorum. And who might you be, my radiant friend?
My name is Brazino the Fourth Jr.
Brazino the Fourth Jr. I bet your family has a long and historied line.
We do indeed.
Bless you with such a name.
Well, thank you, sir.
Karametra must have smiled upon your forefathers. What do you think of our fair city? I'm not sure where you hail from, but we don't have many Leonin around here.
No, I noticed. You are not many Leon in any of the big cities, really. But you earlier when I gave you the drink, you said you needed something to lift your spirits. Are you okay?
Well, our democracy is under threat from these forces exerted upon us. It makes me wonder about the world and perhaps tyranny if it were to return to Theros. I think someone like yourself, a Leonin, might have a valuable opinion here. Do you remember, well, the stories of the Archons, and specifically Agnamakos, the tyrant who ruled these lands before Meletis formed and democracy reigned?
Do I know these stories?
You, as a Leonin, actually kind of think of this a little bit as insulting, because the primary army of Agnamakos was Leonin, and he used their ferocity in combat and their cohesiveness together to ensure dominion over all of Theros and humans. So him asking you how you feel about it, or how you feel about the Archons and Agnamakos, it is actually a little bit of a shame of your people that you were used as a tool of tyranny by the Archons, and you think that he's asking a pointed question, like basically asking you to tell him that you don't like Archons.
Well, I don't know. I do not judge the tool by the wearer. If I have a sword and somebody else has a sword, how they use it is the judgment of their character.
Well said. I know an army is at the disposal of the 12, but how that army is set out to keep the peace or conquer another nation greatly reflects on the people who control the army. I know that you and your friends were summoned by Parasophia. Have you been able to see her at all yet?
No, we were hoping to see her this evening.
I'm not surprised. She is incredibly busy trying to keep this delicate democracy together.
It takes a lot of work.
Did you know she decreed to all of us that we could not use the Reverend Army in any way to solve this problem with outsiders? It was her She was the one that decreed that, which I think is why you are a necessity here to solve our problem.
Perhaps it is good. You don't want to use your army against your own people. If it is something that is coming from within, it's best that perhaps smaller outside group help handle. For appearance's sake. Much like my robes. Not something I normally wear, but they look good tonight, yes?
Yes, they look resplendent.
Thank you.
He seems like a crusty bugger and doesn't seem to give into friendliness openly. All of the information that he's given you or the questions that he's asked you have been kind of more prodding you than anything else. You think he told you that information about Parasophia, basically saying that they couldn't use force to solve this problem, as probing for your response. And he seems to be solidly entrenched in being indifferent towards you. So, unless you want to continue talking, I don't think there's going to be any change towards friendly or hostile here. He is solidly indifferent.
All right. I don't know what to do. Who are these two down here?
Do you want to give a charisma check before you leave, just so you kind of check that box off there?
Yep.
See how many points you get.
The straight up charisma?
Yes.
Ooh. And I get to add +2 to that, though, so
Yes.
6.
He seems unmoved by your conversations, and
Yeah,
he might seem actually a little unimpressed by you and your crew, to be honest. That's actually going to be your turn in the turn order, and we go back to the top of the turn. You guys came out with a total for this turn of 5 of the required 10 to be invited to the after party to meet Spyradula. So mission failed. You hang around at the party, and as you hang around at the party, slowly people start to disappear, but the party doesn't seem to be dying down. But people do seem to be leaving in some way. Let's see here. Musicians change, new food comes out, entertainers come in as well. And as you are all engrossed in your own conversations, you hear the boom of a drum. And the music stops and suddenly changes to very odd music. In a puff of smoke appearing in the center of this spectacle before you is a group of bizarre-looking individuals dressed in red and very colorful. Let's see here. 8 of them juggle blades in the air, clinging them back and forth as they make a rhythmic sound. And in the center of them is a puppeteer who in his hand holds a puppet that looks slightly like Drados. They immediately begin to entertain the crowd with feats of juggling, blades coming close to nicking faces, fingers, and hands. The individual, the puppeteer in the center, does satirical motions with his puppet, making it do all sorts of obscene and strange things. Uh-oh. Drados, as the feeling at the party seems to shift a little bit, what are you doing down here in the corner by yourself?
So these, you said they just appeared from a puff of smoke?
Yep.
Have I seen anything or anyone like this before?
No. They are unusual, to say the least. You don't think you've ever seen anyone like these before.
You said the doll. I think I know who it is. Does Drados recognize this particular?
Yes. It
character?
only looks like you because it looks like someone that you kind of look like.
I gotcha. But they haven't done anything like overtly hostile, right? They're just
No. They just seem pretty sus.
yeah, seems pretty sus to me too. I think Drados is. I think he's going to cast detect thoughts without any spell components.
Okay.
And try to get a feeling for just as they pass around, just he's not probing deep into anyone, but he's trying to get a feel for maybe their surface level emotions.
Okay. They are probing the party goers, looking for specific individuals, and as they move around doing their acts, you kind of get, oh, there's one. And you can see as they do that, they kind of look around to the individuals around them to make sure that they see them too. And they continue through the party looking for individuals.
Let's see here. Who can I see? I guess I to the party members I can see maybe Fakira and Brazino. You hear a light whisper in your ear. These people are not to be trusted. They are looking for someone.
You've done this before with us, right?
Yes, yeah.
And can I respond back, or is this one way?
Nope.
Okay. So I was kind of enjoying the show, but now side eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my turn. I'm gonna step forward, but then pass my turn.
Fakira, there's a wonderful, bizarre, almost macabre show going on in front of you. Occasionally, one of the blades actually nicks the fingers of the performers, and you see a bit of blood splat on the ground, and it seems actually to spur the performance on. The bloodletting seems to encourage them.
She's just entranced. And then she hears a little voice in her ear, and she goes, "Oh." And she starts making her way through the crowd, trying to get a little bit further away from people. Maybe just hanging out right there. Just gonna watch.
Okay. Nostis, what are you doing?
Double checking I'm not muted.
Excellent. You can see it from afar. It's not like the most immediate thing to you. but it's definitely making quite a racket.
So I've been just kind of observing and just staying away from everyone because everyone is terrible. And I'm gonna make my way around and come up behind Dorados.
Give
If
me a
that's okay.
perception check as you make your way around Drados.
It's advantage. Here we go. Oh, this is my best stat.
This is your best stat, yes. 14. You hear the sounds of carnal pleasure being given and taken, but cannot discern the location of it. You just hear it somewhere around this direction.
That's fine. I'm fine. That is unimportant to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I come up behind Dorados.
behind
Yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
behind Dorados.
Mhm.
And I ask him, can I tell that this thing looks like him from here?
It would be difficult to. Yes. Yeah, I mean, he can point it out, and you can see that it is, like, purposely kind of an effigy that looks a little like him. It's a little bit bigger than, like, displayed in the picture, but, yeah. It's so contrasting to all the red that they're wearing that it kind of is easy to see the highlights. So, yes, you can. I walked that around the whole circle and came back to yes.
Gotcha. Drados.
What?
Aside
Drados
from
is
this
surprised.
terrible music and
He didn't.
awful performance. What's
Sorry,
up?
Drados didn't hear it. He was like deep, like he was like really intently on these people. So he's when you're what?
Is this? This is awful. And why does that look like you?
I don't know about that, but I believe they're looking for someone, and I don't think they're up to any good.
And if they have a little puppet that looks like you, are they looking for you?
When I was watching them, did I get any feel for them pointing out who they were pointing out? Was it us?
It's hard to tell because there's so many people. But you feel like if they were looking for you or your crew, they would probably have seen Fakira or Fanaze, or most likely the guy who's dressed up like the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Seems conspicuous.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't believe they're here from us, but they may be here for more members of the 12.
Do we care?
We do have a job.
Is that job to protect the members of the 12 or find who murdered the other ones?
It's probably a good start.
So we observe.
Are you going to do anything else on your turn, Nostis?
I'm just gonna hang out near Drados and continue to watch what he, from a critic standpoint, finds incredibly gauche and awful.
Are you sure he actually finds it gauche? I think actually he might think that this is maybe something new and really interesting, because this is very unusual. This is not like a Theros art style that you've seen anywhere else.
I don't know. First impressions, maybe they'll win me over.
Okay. First impressions are bad. All right. Okay.
I don't like the puppet thing. Never
the
been a
puppet.
fan of people with their creepy puppets and stuff like that.
So
Ventriloquism is not true art to Nostis.
the thing that is maybe a little different about it is the puppet is actually purposefully bad. It's not like they're trying to do it in a way that is like, this is like a true art. It's like, this is supposed to be funny and kind of dumb. So I don't know. I don't know if that sways you at all. Maybe it is
We'll see.
just dumb. Okay. Fanaze, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still next to my rival in arms, and I just kind of nudge him with my elbows and my arms crossed. I'm like, how does the rest of the crowd receive this?
They are
they
enthralled by
fascinated?
it. Yeah, they are
Okay.
definitely fascinated. And
Okay.
it's kind of a weird thing. Like, it's bizarre and kind of like so overtly dangerous to the people that are doing it that you kind of can't take your eyes away from it because you're just waiting for one of them to like get a dagger in the eye or accidentally like stab the person next to them. That's like how like weirdly dangerous what they're doing is.
Sure. I nudge him this time. What's the point of doing a sword dance if you're not cutting anybody with them? I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty, but I think we'd put on a better show, don't you think?
Yeah. Can't replace the true champions. This is mere parlor tricks. We are the true cream of the crop.
And I clink wine glasses with him, continue drinking with him, and but as I take a sip, I kind of like shift my eyes over to if Brazino is still where his token is, just kind of check where he is, because I don't see anyone else kind of in the nearer vicinity. Oh, Fakira's up there. Fakira, are you actually up there? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's kind of like
Right.
leaning against the column.
Okay, so I try to I check, my surroundings, see who's where, and try to meet eyes with Brazino since I probably can see him easier than Fakira, and then but just kind of self-aware of the surroundings. Do I notice any of the guards still around?
Yeah, they're posted at like the entrances and exits, but they aren't really like some of them are looking that way, but they kind of seem to have assumed that anything going on in it's not their job to necessarily protect the people in there from like the entertainment, because there's like earlier there might have been like a fire breather or like a person like swallowing swords or
They're
whatever.
used to this. Yeah.
There's dangerous forms of entertainment, and they just
I'm
think it's
more
entertainment.
I think I'm more curious about what they're armed with. Are they like shield, like a hoplite fashion?
They're
like shield,
straight up
spear,
hoplite.
sword?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Just okay. I'm good then. Yeah.
Brazino the fourth junior.
So, excuse me. I've had a lot of cocoa, so I'm keeping an eye on them, but I'm making my way down here into these bushes.
Yes.
To kind of just look around, discreetly relieve my bladder.
Nice. Give me a perception check as you come down this way.
Perception.
Breaking the seal. You're doing it
Yeah,
wrong.
do it now. It's all over now. Ooh. 4.
You can't hear anything over the
Yeah.
strange music coming from these individuals up there. You gonna do anything else?
Nah. I'm kind of watching over the bushes, watching the art of the performance.
Let's ungroup all of these. And they begin to move into the crowd a bit, doing their dance almost the entire time. Are you still surveying their thoughts, Drados?
Probably. If I still think they're not paying attention to me, then yes.
So as they come into view, you see that they actually do start to have some surface thoughts of like, there he is, there he is, there he is, and they start moving in your direction, but they aren't looking at you. They're looking at the person standing next to you.
You fight again.
And here it comes.
Just
I
attracts
knew I didn't
assassins
like
like a
them.
magnet.
I knew I didn't like them.
Turns out this was a troop that you slighted. No, not really. And as they begin getting closer and closer to you, they begin tossing the daggers higher and higher with more and more verve. And then the first dagger flings out right past you towards Nostis. And we will discover what is going to happen with the rest of this combat, not next week, but the week after that, as we will end tonight for Mythic Odysseys of Theros, Meletian Mystery. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. It was a pleasure to have you for this unusual night, a little bit of a different D&D setting. I think it was a fun little mini game, even though you guys ended up not being cool enough
Failing
for the
miserably.
after party. Some bad rolls, but you know, sometimes the dice gods giveth, sometimes the dice gods taketh away, and tonight they have taketh away. All right, some shout outs. Thank you so much, Ginger with Souls, the Gilded Troll, Mother of Jedi. Thank you for coming in. The raids were great. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the follows. We appreciate having you here so much. Later on this week, we will be having our We're not having our Dark Kingdoms game this week. Are we having Morkborg on Thursday?
We are Merkborging.
We are Morkborging on Thursday. But important real-life things happening this Wednesday, so we will see you potentially the next week, but maybe without me. We'll have to have that conversation. Please join us for Morkborg Arc 2. What is the name of the arc?
Gorge.
Gorge. Ooh. Gorge. Fun stuff. Morkborg is a ton of fun, and if you haven't checked it out yet, it is a little bit different than Dungeons and Dragons. We have some awesome maps tonight from multiple Patreons. Do you remember the map command, Ryan?
I know we have them, and you told me what to put. So it's whatever their names are, basically. Give me 1 second. I have, as far as the ones you gave me, we have D and David. And we also had Fantasy Atlas.
Yes. There is another one that I want to shout out once I get that whole information, because everything that they do has just been beautiful. I believe it is Miscellanea. Let's see. Yes, Miscellany Tabletop. I will post a link here. Just fantastic stuff. The maps that we've had for the last couple nights have been from them. They do great Greek style maps. So if you're looking to play in your own Hellenistic world or in Theros, they are perfect for it. Please, if you are interested in any of their works, go check them out. Where was it that we were last time? Oh, the baths, the blood baths were by them. Great fun maps, and I have quite a few more of them. And I think with that, do you have any does anyone have any shout outs or things they want to plug coming up? L2, anything going on for your channel?
On Friday, Let's Create Worlds is switching it up a little bit as we gear up for the campaign where the chat plays D&D for Community Chronicles. So this Friday, we're switching it from world creation to the actual characters that will be going in the world that the chat created. So we'll be rolling for ability scores. We'll be picking the custom classes. Oh, sorry, the custom races and a class for the characters. So it's going to be fun. So if people haven't played D&D yet or haven't found a game yet, you can at least play as like a hive mind with the chat. So doing the character creation this Friday should be a lot of fun if people want to come out.
Very cool. I always love the world building, and the idea of having the chat play Dungeons and Dragons is insane to me. That's awesome. Cool. Well, please check out our Discord and our website. You can find recaps and a link to our YouTube to catch up on the story so far with Dark Kingdoms, with Meletian Mystery, with Morkborg, all of that. Thank you so much for being here. We love all of you so much. Let's head out on a raid.
I have one queued up if you're ready.
I am ready to send us out. Please stick around and we'll raid out.